Hello, I am Aaron Sauter. Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm a writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com, and I cover the Cincinnati Bengals of the NFL. I also talk about the CFL, the UFL, the IFL, the NAL, the ELF, European League of Football, all on Football Scientific. I enjoy with my co-host, Wolfie D. Wolfie D in the house. Let's get it going. Bum, 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 bum. It's Monday. Let's go on a Monday. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So what we're going to do today is going to wrap up the weekend. Okay, wrap up the weekend and get some power rankings out there and hit it hard. A lot of football over the weekend. Ton of it. Okay, so first, today, first CFL Pre-Season game. I'm pumped about that. I hope you are too. If you enjoyed the CFL, it was cool to watch Calgary Stampeders play the BC Lions, even though it's preseason. Preseason in the CFL is just as fun as the regular season. I mean, everyone gets to play, but I mean, I guess that's one thing about the CFL because there's no offense. There's not like the Pat Mahomes and stuff like that. Throughout the season, some guys get hurt, and you're going to see a lot of various players throughout the season. You know, a long season, 21 weeks, I believe it is, a regular season. You're going to see a lot of diversity in players. And preseason really just kicks that off. Some of those guys won't make the team, but they're all out to competing, and it's fun to watch. And Canadian football is just superior football. I'm not saying anything bad about the NFL, but 3-down football is where it's at. Forward motion all the time. It's like indoor football outside in a huge field. I love it. Love the CFL. In that preseason game, Calgary Stampeders knocked off BC Lions 26-16. No one really cares. But it's still a win for Calgary Stampeders over BC. They're in Victoria, so they got a chance for Nathan Rourke from the BC Lions to play in front of his home crowd, which he never gets to do. Because he's always playing in Vancouver, you know. All right, and I'm going to kick off with the NFL news. I feel like I'm behind on NFL news. So I got some notes from yesterday and today. So first, the Green Bay Packers, yesterday signed running back Marshawn Lloyd. They didn't sign him, but he's coming back from injury, so it's going to be like they drafted him last year. He was hurt all season, and he says he's healthy now. He's going to come back and ready forever. So they're not signing him. They drafted him last year, but he's going to be like he got signed. So that's cool. Pittsburgh, they are the most interested of all teams in picking up Chris Olave, wide receiver Chris Olave from the New Orleans Saints. The Saints don't seem interested in trading Chris Olave, but because the New Orleans Saints quarterback room is horrible, teams are attacking them and trying to get Chris Olave, which would be huge for the Steelers to get him. I hope they don't get him. Go Bengals. But also, it's weird that the Steelers are attacking the Saints because their quarterback situation is not figured out. When their quarterback situation isn't figured out, what's the difference? And they're black and gold. It doesn't make any sense. Dumb. Don't do it, Saints. Resist the urge to make stupid moves. I know you're addicted to it. You love it. Okay. 49ers. This is a big deal for me. Yesterday, 49ers announced that they were working on a contract extension for Fred Warner, my star player of one of my fantasy teams, one of the fantasy leagues I play in. You get to play, like, you pick your offensive players, but you also pick your defensive players. And it's pretty cool. And I have Fred Warner and Demario Davis from the Saints, who are like two of the top 3 linebackers in the NFL. They're on my team. They carry a lot of weight for my team. Fred Warner is going to continue being on with the San Francisco 49ers, which I love. I'm not a big 49ers fan, but I like to see Fred Warner be successful because he's one of my foundational players on my fantasy team. Boop. Let's go Fred Warner. There's more about that in a second. Okay, it's the time of the year. NFL owners are reconvening from the league meetings, and now they're talking about, like, are we going to reseed the playoffs after the first round of playoffs rather than just playing with the bracket they have now? So normally what happens in the playoffs, in case you don't know, you get your 4 division winners, 1 through 4 as seeds, and then you get 3 wildcard teams, and then the number 1 seed gets a bye week, and then your 3 division winners play the 3 wildcard teams, and then whoever's lowest plays number 1, whoever's second lowest blah, 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 blah. The Lions they see an advantage after the first round. They would like to reseed the playoffs and not have it be necessarily like, 7th seed who wins against the 2nd seed goes and plays the 1st seed. I mean, that's what they'll see if they're in the 1st seed. That's not what they want to see. I think they're trying to shuffle decks so they cannot play the Washington Commanders or Eagles because they don't want to play them. Because they know they can't beat them. They can't win a Super Bowl because they can't beat those teams. You're not going to win a Super Bowl anyway, Detroit. You missed it, man. Your window is closed. You don't believe it yet, though. Let's go. When your coaches leave, your window's closed, bro. All right. New NFL owners, they're also going to vote on whether or not to ban the tush push either today or tomorrow or Wednesday. Hope they don't ban it, man. Don't ban the wedge play. I mean, that's lame. Teams just got to figure out how to stop it. More Cincinnati Bengals drama, which hits me hard. I hate that we do this to players all the time. But defensive end Trey Hendrickson, he says he's not happy about Zach Taylor contacted him and said, hey, bro, you're going to get fined for not coming to camp once training camp starts because you're fighting over this contract. You still have a year left on your contract. And Hendrickson was like, I'm offended by that, bro. I'm offended by that. Whatever. So, why is he mad? Well, he has a lot of sacks. He's had, 34 sacks, 35 sacks the last 2 years. And over the last 3 years, the only person who's had more sacks than him is Myles Garrett. But guess what? Cleveland Browns stink. And they paid Myles Garrett a ton of money, and they blew up the market, and that's why Trey Hendrickson thinks he should blow up the market too. But Trey Hendrickson isn't Myles Garrett, man. I've watched him play. I'm not inspired. I hate Trey. I would have traded Trey Hendrickson and got some picks for him before the draft. I don't know why they're messing around with him. This is feel like T. Higgins. T. Higgins. You can get another T. Higgins this year. Could have got another one this year. Get rid of him. Boop. You could have got another Trey Hendrickson this year. You know why they don't do that? Because their scouting department is horrible and they don't trust themselves when it comes to picking up players. They have so many train wrecks from the Bengals. They're so bad, and their scouting is horrible. And some scout moved on to Northwestern, and I was like, good. Get out of here, bro. Your draft picks have been putrid. We got 2 of them right. Yeah, maybe 3 of them. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and I like Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was kind of an idiot at the end, but I think they've not been the same since they lost Joe Mixon. He was a good draft pick. Rest of them, horrible. Shamar Stewart, garbage. Take that, Shamar Stewart, garbage. You're not going to get a multi-year guaranteed contract. You're going to be out of the league in a year. Okay, bro? You're not the legacy. You got picked first round because the Bengals are stupid. Not because you're good. You already know you're not good. That's why you want guaranteed money. Trey Hendrickson wants guaranteed money in multiple years because he knows he's not good. He had some good times. He did some stat accumulation. That doesn't make you a playmaker. He's not a playmaker. I watched him play. Not a playmaker. Stat accumulator. Don't overpay for that, Bengals. Bengals come off being cheap sometimes, but this is actually good business. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Guess what? It is good. Just drop him. You should have traded him. You know why you can't trade him? Because no one else thinks he's worth it either. That's what he's having to realize, man. No one else thinks he's worth it either. He's not going to get the deal from anyone else because no one else wants to pay him either. All right, I digress. Philadelphia Eagles, former Jets general manager Joe Douglas, speaking of trash bins, has returned to the Philadelphia Eagles to be their senior scout. Trash bin. Joe Douglas. He's going to be good because Howie Roseman tells him who to pick. It's not how it's supposed to be. But it is. How it's going to work out. Cincinnati Bengals trying to make some progress. They are meeting with defensive lineman Montravius Adams from Pittsburgh this week. Might be able to get us some defensive line help. Not one of your highest areas of need, but whatever. Safety. Malachi Stars. Philadelphia Eagles have agreed to a multi-year extension with head coach Nick Sirianni rather than trying to fire him like they did the last couple of years. Win a Super Bowl, they keep you. Lose a Super Bowl, they want to drop you. Welcome to the NFL. All right. Cleveland Browns, they signed quarterback Stuart Sanders, 4-year contract, $4.6 million. It was not clarified if that's $4.6 million per year or $4.6 million total. I think it's $4.6 million total. He was like a 5th-round draft pick. He's going to have to prove it, man. And he's not going to. He's all hype. And the hype's not even carried him that far. LA Chargers signed running back Omarion Hampton. I like that guy. I think he should have went to the Commanders, but the Chargers picked him first. He's signed now. Why can't we sign our draft picks? Because we pick crappy draft picks. And we don't want to sign them. Because we're like, you suck. Well, yeah, we signed you. No, we drafted you. Of course you suck. We're horrible at picking players. San Francisco 49ers, Fred Warner. Okay, here we go. Boom. This is huge for me. He's a stalwart of one of my fantasy teams. Love to see Fred Warner do well. Okay, All-Pro Fred Warner. 3 years, $63 million. $56 million guaranteed. He's the highest paid linebacker in the NFL now. For the second time in his career, he's the second highest paid linebacker in the NFL. You go to work, get your money. Dude's elite. Trey Hendrickson, not elite. Shamar Stewart, not elite. Fred Warner, elite. Green Bay Packers, they signed first-round pick, wide receiver Matthew Golden. 4 years, $17.58 million, fully guaranteed. That's cool for him. We'll see what happens. San Francisco 49ers, remember on the weekend, Brock Purdy got his contract extension. $53 million a year for 5 years. Well, there's a no trade clause in there too, but we all know how it goes. If he stinks, they will get him the trade. Meaningless report. Okay. All right, that's NFL. UFL, crazy weekend of UFL. Friday night, Memphis Showboats defeated the San Antonio Brahmas 24-22 in a crazy game. Not good. Why was it not good? Kevin Hogan threw 3 interceptions. Old dude, I think it's over, man. I think it's over. Your career is done. Okay. Showboats also ran the ball pretty well. 7 runs for 76 yards with the running back. And Jay-Sean Corbin ran really well. 25 carries, 143 yards on the touchdown. Yeah, it'll be an overtime game. And we lost in the shootout. In the 2-point conversion shootout. Showboats win 24-22, and they are the second worst team in the UFL instead of the worst, like the Brahmas. We're the worst. Whatever. It was all rigged. I'm going to call it out right now. It was all rigged. Last year, we were supposed to be bad. We ripped off a bunch of wins, and the UFL was sitting there going, why are they so good? San Luis Battlehawks was supposed to be in the championship game, y'all. Supposed to be a championship game. It's all me about the Battlehawks and Stallions. Ha ha ha. But then the Brahmas beat them in the XFL Conference Championship. They were like, no, why did you win, Brahmas? And then they get crushed by the Stallions, and they're like, disaster. You just killed the league, Brahmas. So what was their punishment? They made them the worst team in the league. That's your punishment. You're going to go 1-9 to pay for the fact you messed up the party last year. And what's my evidence of that? What's my evidence that's rigged? Well, this year, St. Louis Battlehawks, probably the second best in the XFL Conference, get to host the XFL Conference Championship game no matter what. Because DC Defenders Stadium is not available. Not available. Even though DC Defenders are like, it's available, bro. And the league's like, no, it's not. It's not. Come to St. Louis. And the Defenders are like, right, we're just playing Arlington because we all live in Arlington anyway. It would be easier and cheaper to do that. And they're like, no, in St. Louis. So I guarantee St. Louis wins that game. It's going to be fixed. And it's going to be lame. Speaking of lame, Michigan Panthers beat the Houston Roughnecks behind Danny Etling. Why are they forcing this? I guess because you're getting Bryce Perkins healthy. Yeah, they actually played pretty good. 14 for 22, 167 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, blah, 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 blah. Jalen McClendon of the Houston Roughnecks went 30 for 50. They didn't establish a run game at all, which was their game. And they took the L, man. 30-18, I predicted that. I went 4-0 in the UFL this week. Not bragging. 2 weeks in a row, 4-0. Birmingham Stallions, St. Louis Battlehawks. It'll be the UFL championship game. tell you it's going to be. I see it. And Battlehawks need to win it. Otherwise, this league's over. Sorry. Birmingham Stallions traveled to St. Louis for the first time ever. Blah, 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 blah. Jamar Smith got the start. 14 for 24, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, interception, 1 sack, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. But St. Louis Battlehawks came out. Max Duggan threw a touchdown, ran for 2 touchdowns. Jacob Sailors, 16 carries, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. It's a pretty good game. The difference in this game was the St. Louis Battlehawks defense, 4 sacks. 4 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. Birmingham Stallions had 1 sack, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. So the 3 extra sacks and then 1 fumble recovery sealed the game, allowing the Battlehawks to win 29-28. It was announced Battlehawks will host the CFL Conference Championship game no matter what. It was also announced Birmingham Stallions will host the UFL Conference Championship or USFL Conference Championship game no matter what because of scheduling conflicts in Michigan, although no one can find the scheduling conflicts. Once again, fixed. The same. Arlington Renegades will travel to DC, fighting for their playoff life. Came out, Luis Perez, 32 for 46, 2 touchdowns, interception. Holton Ahlers had 1 touchdown. Tyler Vaughn, wide receiver, 3 catches for 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Teamu, 15 for 26, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, good day. Abram Smith did well. They all had a pretty good game. This was a really even game. But here's the deal. Luis Perez, Arlington Renegades have a chance to go down, drive, tie the game up, force this thing to overtime. It's 30-33. They're in field goal position. Just don't do anything stupid. You're going to kick the field goal. You're going to move to overtime, have a chance to continue to fight for your life. Not saying it's fixed, but Luis Perez calls his own play, overrides Bob Stoops. Calls his own play, throws an ugly interception. Game over. They lose 33-30. They are out. DC Defenders are in. I predicted last year before the season it would have been DC Defenders and St. Louis Battlehawks, Michigan Panthers, Birmingham Stallions, Battlehawks in the league. I said if that happened, the league is fixed. And it's about to happen. The league is fixed. Can't watch it. I'll probably stop covering it if that happens. The league is fixed. Okay. That will be my evidence. If it's Battlehawks, Birmingham Stallions, UFL Championship game, and Birmingham or St. Louis wins, and they're the first to knock off the Birmingham Stallions for a championship game. Fixed. UFL Power Rankings, Week 8, with the fixing in mind. Number 1, St. Louis Battlehawks, 6-2. Number 2, Birmingham Stallions, even though they're not as good as the Michigan Panthers by record. Michigan Panthers have never beaten the Birmingham Stallions. And neither are DC Defenders. So I got number 2, Birmingham Stallions at 5-3. DC Defenders are number 3 at 6-2. I think they're going to lose to St. Louis Battlehawks. It's fixed. Number 4, Michigan Panthers, 6-2. They're going to lose to Birmingham Stallions. They'll probably big lead again and blow it. And it'll be crappy. Michigan Panthers, you're never going to beat the Stallions because you're not the golden child, man. You don't have that many fans at your stands. Okay. Eliminated from the playoffs, number 5, Arlington Renegades, 3-5 now. You're out. Boop. Houston Roughnecks, 3-5, you're out. Boop. Memphis Showboats, 2-6, you're out. Boop. And San Antonio Brahmas, 1-7, you're out. And for the second year in a row, we have 2 weeks left in the season, and there's nothing to play for because we already know the game's going to be at St. Louis Battlehawks or XFL Conference Championship game. We already know the game's going to be at Birmingham Stallions, no matter what happens. So, I mean, at this point, who cares? You have 2 weeks of not getting injured, and then finish it up. Not compelling. Oh well. IFL, much more exciting than IFL. Tulsa Oilers played Quad City Steamers on Friday night. I predicted they'd win by 2 points, and guess what? They won by 2 points. Okay, TJ Edwards played pretty well. Demery Croft for Quad City. There was no Daquan Neal. I figured he wouldn't play, and I figured they would struggle. And they did struggle. They struggled a little bit, but not as much as I thought they would. Basically, Tulsa Oilers come out. They run the ball. They pass the ball. They look pretty good. Quad City Steelers run the ball, pass the ball. They look pretty good. Pretty much play evenly. pretty even game. So what's the difference in this game? One fumble recovery. One fumble recovery. Tulsa Oilers take away a possession. They win the game 36-34. Game over. Tulsa Oilers win. Steelers have lost 2 games in a row now. They're crashing. Okay, next, Tucson Sugar Skulls with the Bay Area Panthers. I figured this game would be a kind of crazy game, but not as crazy as it actually was. Jorge Reyna, 10 for 20, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. Crazy game by Tucson Sugar Skulls, probably the best game of the year. Bay Area Panthers, very similar to the Tulsa Oilers, Quad City Steamwheelers. Josh Jones matched him every step of the way, 7 for 15, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 rushing touchdowns. Bay Area wins 68-57. What was the difference in the game? Defense, 5 sacks by the Bay Area Panthers. 1 sack for Tucson Sugar Skulls. I feel like that's the difference in the game, 68-67. Turnovers were the same. Sacks were different. Well played game. Boop. Next. Saturday, San Diego Strikeforce traveled to the San Antonio Gunslingers. I thought for sure San Antonio Strikeforce would be the better team here, but I knew it was going to be a crazy game. I knew the higher score, and there was a better chance to rely on the San Antonio Gunslingers. Nate Davis came out and did his thing. 19 for 31, 169 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rudy Johnson stepped at running back. Over Vander scored at running back. On the other side, Colazo III, I haven't seen his first name. He threw for 7 touchdowns. 20 for 32, 197 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ran the ball 6 times, 14 yards. He's just a pocket passer. Boom. Naquan Murray, 6 catches, 50 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Okay, what's that equate to? 42-42, go to overtime, and San Antonio Gunslingers won in overtime, 49-48, because San Diego missed an extra point. Yikes. So San Antonio Gunslingers pick up a big win, and they hang on to playoff hopes going to the second half of the season. They needed that. But it was about to be over. Fisher's Freight traveled to Jacksonville Sharks. Speaking of crashing and burning, Fisher's Freight crashing and burning. 4 in a row, 4 losses in a row after starting off 2-0. Jacksonville Sharks are bouncing back after losing 2 games in a row. They're not crashing and burning. How did this game look? It looked like you would expect it. Keegan Shoemaker came out and played like crap for the Fisher's Freight. Jai Wright came out and ran around but couldn't complete passes. They ran the ball pretty well. They competed, but they didn't score enough points. Jacksonville Sharks, Caleb Barker, 9 for 12, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nothing impressive, but they ran the ball 14 times, 36 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's 5 touchdowns. No interceptions. That's key. Okay, he had the ball to his weapons. Defensively, Fisher's Freight had 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and the Sharks had 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions will get you beat every time, and he got them beat, 59-27. Boom. Great. I was hoping y'all would be good. I'm from Indianapolis area, you know. Green Bay Blizzard traveled to Iowa Barnstormers. I said this game could go either way. I figured it'd be a very close, high-scoring game, and it was not as close as you would think. Not as close as I would think. Probably close as you would think. Max Myler came out for Green Bay, 13 for 17, 204 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's a game, man. 7 runs, got another touchdown, 56 yards, got another touchdown. That's a game. Myler stepped up, y'all. Iowa Barnstormers, James Cahoon came out, 20 for 35, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That loses the game for you. 2 interceptions. Green Bay Blizzard unstoppable with Max Myler. Iowa Barnstormers could not stop them. Turn the ball over twice, and you lose by 16 points. 2 touchdowns. Green Bay Blizzard wins 74-58, as predicted. I took it close, but it was definitely over. Okay, so with that, I have new IFL power rankings. We're about midway through the season, so the playoff picture starts forming here. Arizona Rattlers are my number 1 team at 6-1, even though they had a close game with the Vegas Nighthawks. I didn't talk about that. I don't know. Well, they beat the Vegas Nighthawks 50-47. That was a much closer game I expected it to be. But not really. I think I said it was going to be a close game. Arizona's going to win. Money line. Over. You got it.
Arizona Rattlers 6-1. Bay Area Panthers 5-2. I think those are the best 2 teams in the league right now. Number 3, I got Green Bay Blizzard at number 3, 5-3. I think they got out of their little lull and they're feeling pretty good. Max Myler, if he kills it, they're unbeatable. Jacksonville Sharks back to 5-2. I got the number 4. Quad City Steamrollers crashing and burning right now. They're down to 6-2. They were 6-0, now 6-2. I got them at number 5. They were at the top spot just 2 weeks ago. Number 6, Tulsa Oilers. I got them in the last playoff spot in the East right now. 5-2. So if the playoffs started today, it'd be Green Bay Blizzard number 1, 2, Jacksonville Sharks 3, Quad City Steamrollers 4, Tulsa Oilers. Who would win that? It's hard to say. It'd be crazy playoffs right now. That would be the most entertaining playoffs I've ever seen in the IFL. Okay, number 7, Vegas Nighthawks coming up short against Arizona. I got their 4-3. I got them at number 7. San Diego Strikeforce not getting the job done because they're missing an extra point in San Antonio. Can't be a playoff team and lose that way, man. That's the details, you know. They're 3-4, and that would be my playoff teams in the West right now: Arizona Rattlers, Bay Area Panthers, Vegas Nighthawks, San Diego Strikeforce. But also they're tied with the Tucson Sugar Skulls at 9. Tucson Sugar Skulls just can't get out of their own way. They're playing pretty good football, but they can't get out of their way to consistently win. That would be the battle right now in the playoffs for Western Conference. Would be Tucson Sugar Skulls and San Diego Strikeforce at 3-4. Someone's going to have to get a winning record and go into the playoffs. Both will get crushed by the Arizona Rattlers. Number 9, Tucson Sugar Skulls. Number 10, I got the San Antonio Gunslingers. They're at 2-5. They're just hanging on. They're hanging back there. Things at the bottom falls out for Tucson and San Diego. They could swoop in, but the bottoms have to fall out. Number 11, Mass Pirates are 2-5. That's a mess. They lost to the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Fisher's Freight 2-5, 5 straight losses. Northern Arizona Wranglers got their first win against Massachusetts, not because they played well. Massachusetts played really bad. Number 14, Iowa Barnstormers. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. IFL. NAL, crazy things happen. Sioux City Bandits lost to the Wheeling Miners. I did not expect them to lose to the Wheeling Miners. They did. 2 interceptions by their quarterback. You know, that's bad. No interceptions by Wheeling Miners quarterback James Summers. James Summers runs the crap out of the ball 19 times for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Old school football in Wheeling. Wheeling Miners win the game 28-20, essentially knocking out the Sioux City Bandits from the playoffs in the National Conference. There's 2 weeks left in that league. I don't think they can. I think mathematically they're eliminated now, but I want to avoid saying that just because I don't know how it shakes out. I think they're out. Okay. Columbus Lions, Beaumont Renegades. Beaumont Renegades have been undefeated but played close games all year. They made one key error. They threw an interception. Carl Robinson the third played the way he normally plays, but threw an interception. Boom. Lions did not. Boom. They had a fumble that was recovered though. Vince Espinoza, 136 yards, 3 touchdowns. Blah 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 blah. Interception by Beaumont Renegades. Columbus Lions picked it off. They win 40-37. That interception was the difference in the game. Big win by Columbus because that puts them at 4-3, and now that really shoves the door almost closed on the Shreveport Rougarou, and will give us Beaumont Renegades and Columbus Lions in the American Conference playoffs, and that they show they could beat the Beaumont Renegades. So that could be their pathway to the championship game. Weird situation. Shreveport Rougarou. Speaking of Rougarou. They played the Dallas Falcons. Okay. Rougarou! Much better game than last time. Ended up being 38-38. I think that thing was about to go to overtime, and then the Dallas Falcons were like, no one even cares about this game. This is a non-league game. We're not going to overtime. So they forfeited. Boop. 38-38. Dallas Falcons forfeit. Shreveport wins. Are they now, whatever, 3-4? I don't know. I have this 3-4. I don't know how it's going to break down. I think it'd be easier mathematically if they just got eliminated, honestly. So, whatever. All right, so my NAL power rankings, I got the Omaha Beef at number 1, 6-1. They seem like the best team. Number 2, Colorado Spartans. They have beat all the bad teams. They've not beat any good teams, but they're better than bad. I got them at 6-2. Beaumont Renegades, number 3. I got them 6-1. It's hard to read them, but they beat all the good teams in the league. The only loss I have is Columbus Lions by 1 interception, really. So I think they're the number 3 best team. Columbus Lions, 4-3. Shocked me by beating Beaumont Renegades. I didn't see them beating Beaumont Renegades, okay, honestly. So the fact they did, they played way above their heads, but they're very inconsistent. So they're at number 4. Now would be your playoffs. Right now it would be Colorado Spartans traveling to Omaha Beef in the National Conference. Columbus Lions traveling to Beaumont Renegades again in the American Conference. I say it'd be Columbus Lions, Omaha Beef, and Beef win by 40. So that's, that happens. I probably won't cover the league next year. That'd be super boring. Number 5, Sioux City Bandits, 3-5. Mathematically, 2 games left. If Colorado loses 2 of them, it'd be 6-4. They might not play 2 of them. Maybe 6-4. Yeah, Sioux City Bandits are gone. Eliminated. Boop. See ya. Shreveport Rougarou are hanging on at 3-4 just because Columbus is 4-3. They got 2 games left. As Columbus drops both and Shreveport wins both, Shreveport goes 5-4, and they go to the playoffs. They can still do it. Wheeling Miners at 3-5. Could do it. Could do it. I think they played 1 less game, so I think they're out. Wheeling Miners out. They knocked out Sioux City Bandits. We're looking at Idaho Horsemen out 3-5. Okay, all right. So I think what we're looking at here is going to be Omaha Beef, Colorado Spartans in the National Conference here in a couple of weeks. Columbus Lions, Beaumont Renegades, but the Shreveport Rougarou are hanging around. They could still knock off the Columbus Lions to take over that top spot. And honestly, Beaumont could, they suffered this loss, but they completely collapse. And now you make the playoffs. That'd be weird. It could happen. Okay, and the European League of Football. I'm pretty fired about European League of Football. The ELF. Week 1, some good football. Roclaw Panthers start the season off beating the Farivar and Throners. I predicted that. Boop. 55-12. Their running back, David Brzezowski, 17 carries, 313 yards. They ran the game. They controlled the game. Butt kicking. Roclaw Panthers win. I figured they would. Boop. Okay, next one. Very confusing game. Ryan Fire, Paris Musketeers. I thought Paris Musketeers, I knew they lost the quarterback. I knew Ryan Fire lost the quarterback and a running back. I feel like the total losses for Paris were less than the total losses for Ryan Fire. So I figure Paris would win a home game against Ryan Fire. They might lose a road game, but they'd win the home game against Ryan Fire. They have dominated the game. They outrushed them. They outpassed them. They had great special teams. Ryan Fire really didn't do anything to win the game, except they got 1 interception. And also, I mean, it's even. Both teams had intercepted a pass. I don't know how this happened, but Ryan Fire won 17-15. It should have happened. Paris should have won the game. They missed opportunities at the end to win the game, and they left it open for Ryan Fire. Ryan Fire is a shell of themselves, obviously. All their best players went to the Nordic Storm. But they're still 1-0. Madrid Bravos are another team, like the Paris Musketeers, like the Ryan Fire. Really good last year. They made some changes. Reed Sinesk, now their quarterback, used to be with the Brahmas, used to be with the Roughnecks. He played pretty well. 21-33, 256 yards, touchdown. He played pretty good football. Only threw 1 interception. Hamburg Sea Devils. Okay, Hamburg Sea Devils. I figured this was going to be a tough game, but I thought Madrid would pull away. But it ended up being a tough game. Madrid did not pull away. So it ended up being really weird. The interception kept the Hamilton Sea Devils in it, Hamburg. And it ended up being Madrid Bravos 13, Hamburg Sea Devils 12. I predicted it would be 34-12. Being 13-12 because Madrid could not get the rhythm on offense. Reed Sinesk looked like he plays in the UFL still. And that's not a compliment. Nordic Storm picking up where they left off as the Ryan Fire with all the playmakers they have. They came out and beat the Helvetic Mercenaries 56-12. Boom. Okay, Jadarian Clark won the last 2 ELF championships, 20 for 30, 258 yards, 5 touchdowns. Glenn Tungo with another touchdown, controlled the game, 12 carries, 114 yards. They played how Ryan Fire plays. Helvetic Mercenaries with Isaiah Weed look better than they have, 17 for 29. They improved, but they're still not good. They got whipped. Hardin North won 56-12. 56-12. Yeah, and Nuggets have only lost one game in the L so far. Prediction level 3-1 in the L. Berlin Thunder hosted the Cologne Centurions. Both teams have been kind of Berlin's been on the brink of making the playoffs, but not being able to go across. Cologne Centurions have kind of been behind them a little bit. How does this look? Looks like Berlin's gotten a lot better. Jacob Sullivan went 22. He's a quarterback. Threw 22 for 24 passes, completed 22 for 24 passes, 413 yards, 7 touchdowns. He blew up. They had a good running game with G. Adams. Cologne Centurions did not match their energy, and they got beat 63-14. That's a beatdown. I did not expect the Berlin Thunder to beat the Cologne Centurions so badly, honestly. Munich Ravens, T-Roll Raiders, Raiders T-Roll, whatever. Kind of how I played out. I originally picked T-Roll Raiders to win that game, 31-28. Then I flipped it, Munich Ravens. I felt they're a better team, and they're more stable. And it worked out that way. Munich Ravens, threw for 260 yards, ran for 134 yards. They had a great time. Played good defense. T-Roll Raiders, they don't have the quarterback right now. They got the C. Miller, 21 for 38, 318 yards, a touchdown. They messed with their quarterback situation last year, trying to shuffle quarterbacks and find a good upgrade, but that's not the way you do it. And they've yet to bounce back. Munich Ravens win 20-7. Start off 1-0. Vienna Vikings, Prague Lions. I expected the Vienna Vikings to blow the doors off the Prague Lions. Quarterback Ben Holmes for Vienna went 19 for 33, 346 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their running back, Pargerin, 15 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here's what I expected to happen. I expected Vienna to do everything they did. I thought Prague Lions were going to turn the ball over. But Prague Lions did not turn the ball over. They stuck in there. Quarterback Jay Smith, 15 for 25, 124 yards. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. Running back Zuzelka, 19 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown. That's a pretty good game. And they hung around. They can't score points, but they did manage the game well enough. Vienna Vikings won 28-6. They did manage the game way better than I thought they would. That's what they're at. Currently 5-1 in the L. Stuttgart Surge plays the Frankfurt Galaxy. I said that would probably be the game of the week. Ended up being Ryan Fire or Paris Musketeers, but Stuttgart Surge, led by quarterback Ryan Hennessy, 14 for 19, 197 yards, a touchdown. They have a good running game, 21 carries, 122 yards. They seem like the most complete team right now that's existed. And then Frankfurt Galaxy, they have a lot of pieces. Matthew McKay came out 20 for 32, 177 yards. They look better than they have recently, but I felt like Stuttgart Surge was going to be too much to handle for the Frankfurt Galaxy, and that was the case. Stuttgart Surge started their season off with a 33-20 win against Frankfurt at Stuttgart. So we're going to finish up with the power rankings. So it's changed a lot since my preseason rankings. Number 1, I got number 1 Stuttgart Surge. I think they're the best team in the league right now. 1-0. Number 2, Ryan Fire. They were the best team in the league. No one's beat them. I don't normally knock the champion off unless he gets beat, but Ryan Fire's not the same team they were. But it's still not bad. Number 3, Vienna Vikings. Underwhelming. I thought they had an underwhelming performance against Prague Lions. Number 4, Nordic Storm. 1-0. Blew it up. Helvetic Mercenaries now. Who doesn't blow up against Helvetic Mercenaries? So I was not impressed. They're number 4. Rowclaw Panthers would be number 5. Probably the highest I expected to put them. That's really good. It's probably the highest I've ever put the Rowclaw Panthers in the power ranking. Number 6, Berlin Thunder. Definitely the highest I've ever put the Berlin Thunder. They exploded on offense. And that makes my mind better than the Munich Ravens right now, who are number 7, 1-0. Who have a great defense, but not an explosive offense. If Berlin can put up, 50 points a game, they're going to win. They're going to make the playoffs. Then they'll lose in the first round. Because that's not how you win in elf championship games. But, it'll be impressive. Number 8, Madrid Bravos, bring in the bottom half or the top half of the league. In power rankings that are 1-0. They're underwhelming. They didn't look right. Number 9, Paris Musketeers couldn't finish the job against the Ryan Fire, so they're at number 9, 0-1. Hamburg Sea Devils played better than expected, but did they play better than expected, or did Madrid Bravos play less good than expected? It's hard to say which one is true. Maybe both are true. I once heard both things can be true. It's probably true. Frankfurt Galaxy lost to Stuttgart Surge. No worries. Just not as close to the other losses. T-Roll Raiders, I think they're the last of the good, bad teams, bad, good teams, bad, good teams. Good teams that play poorly. T-Roll Raiders, they don't have a quarterback. 13, and that's a big problem. Cologne Centurions, number 13, not impressed. Number 14, Hillbillic. Mercenaries, still a long way to go. I don't know, man. That's a long way to go. Number 15, Prague Lions, better than expected, but still bad. And number 16, Fairbairn Thorners, they're not a worse team in the league. They made it back to the bottom. Boop. Nice. So that was the wrap up from the weekend and some NFL news. Fred Warner got signed. That's cool for him. I appreciate that. And my Chattanooga Bearcats fantasy team will enjoy that too. Hope you're having a good time with the week so far. Last week of school for me and several kids, and that'd be good. And we can focus on football. We can really get this done right. That'd be good. If you want to sponsor the Football Scientific, let me know. I can add some thumbnails. I can do some fun stuff. I'm learning how to do some things with footballanalysis1.com to get better products. So hopefully over the summer we can really blow this Football Scientific up. It's been low budget up to this point. I think we can do better. So we'll see. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, Football Scientific is over, Rover. See you tomorrow.